You know, there's a lot of things I wonder about, you know, things that just really rattle my brain, like if unicorns are real, or if Dipset really did do 9/11, or if there really are local hot women in my area who want to fuck me. But see, there's one thing that's really been sitting in the back of my mind, you know, something that's just so crazy to me that it was probably the reason why Stephen Hawking died, because not even he could find the answer to it. And no, I'm not talking about why y'all haven't hit the sub button yet, because you should have done that already, right? Because I know where you live. But instead, I'm talking about how the hell XXXTentacion albums can still be made after all this time. Like, Pop Smoke's discography was ran into the ground after 2 posthumous albums, but it's like X's estate is doing necromancy just to get some of the most dogshit posthumous music for a quick dollar. And with this latest project they dropped called Look at Me the album, it feels like just another reason to finally put a tombstone on X's posthumous career as well. Alright, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to be talking about the side A of this project because literally all of side B is just re-released hit singles from like 4 to 5 years ago, although this album is mainly just re-released tracks from his SoundCloud era as well. But when going through this project, I'm gonna be honest, it's a bit messy and I wish they would have cleaned it up a bit more before putting it out there for the people who followed up in X's music and life as fans, just so they can have something to come back to in better quality. I mean, this project contains some sad piano, some sad rage trap, and a little bit of that boom bap spiritual miracle lyrical individual stuff on the intro track Vice City, which was okay but nothing too crazy to me aside from the beat itself. But don't get me wrong, I do appreciate a more lyrical X, with there being multiple tracks of him getting a bit more personal and lyrically heavy, but I feel like this track just seems like he's just saying a bunch of words that rhyme well but doesn't really add to anything for me to really enjoy. But when going down the track list, I'd stated before, this project contains a lot of sad piano and tons of reverb that accompanies X's distorted or just unmixed vocals, such as on the track Never or Wing Ridden Angel, which are tracks where I kind of see why they weren't on streaming originally, seeming like they take a much different turn in sound from what I personally heard from X, even with his more sadder songs still having some pop to it to really make it a solid or more notable track. But going down towards a more rage-centered tracks such as Rare, Sippin' Tea in Yo Hood, and Fuck with Ski Master Slump God, they're about as pretty on par for the mainstream X that I remember, being these bass and hat heavy tracks with tons of distortion from the beat, and quickfire bars and flow that were solid, with Fuck and Sippin' Tea in Yo Hood being favorites for me personally. But I suppose we're looking at this project overall, this is a nice little piece for X fans that wanted his SoundCloud era music on streaming, although from a more musical creative standpoint, these tracks aren't all that good. But some of them do fit today's era of music, with everything becoming this punk and rage aesthetic that would fit perfectly for X's music if he was still alive to make music. But I said before, from a musical standpoint, these aren't really crazy good assortment of tracks to me personally, with there definitely being some low notes such as King of the Dead having that dubstep trap sound alongside some monotone vocals that just seems boring and uninspired, or how I have to get this dramatically sad vibe from this project that doesn't really do anything for me other than just bore me personally. But overall, this is obviously just another cash grab being made by X's estate. I think we should all know that by now, but I guess it's just a nice little piece for longtime X fans, although only a few pieces from this would work in today's era of music. So to put this on a scale, I'm giving this a who cares out of 10, because it's all re-releases and it's not like anything was done to give these tracks better sound quality for the fans, so if the estate doesn't care, why should I? But I want to thank you guys for watching, and tell me, what was your favorite X song? Let me know down in the comments, so like and subscribe, and make sure to follow my IG and Twitter, and if you like little shit she's using in this video, make sure to follow the artist as well because she's dope. On that note, I'll see you on Monday when I use necromancy to raise the SoundCloud era back from the dead. Peace.
Hey, we got K rounds, Glocks with 30, run up on me, I'ma do you dirty.